I'm a fighter, always have been. In the ring and in business. 30 years of battles, rising, falling, rebuilding. I've made money, I've lost money, but it wasn't until I created Zapata Systems was I able to really find my way out. But the toughest fight, it wasn't physical. It was watching money walk out the door week after week, whether to vendors charging too much or labor not justifying the revenue. That money stress, it doesn't always stay at work. It follows you home, turns into arguments, cold dinners, and broken peace. And then there's the IRS, back taxes, deadlines, pressure you can't punch your way out of. Zapata Systems shows you what you're really paying. It gives you control, leverage, and savings. This isn't about surviving. It's about winning. You're in a fight. Start acting like it. Zapata Systems. Fight smarter.
What's going on?
What's up, guys? We are live Thursday night. We were going to have Victor Martinez come on, but obviously with the news with Charlie Kirk, with the tragedy there, me and Greg decided we're going to just talk about Charlie Kirk because there's a lot of shit that we want to discuss about this stuff. So, Greg, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good, Joseph. Same old bullshit, you know? Every time I got to take a shit, I just use my toilet paper.
We got Cristiano's in the chat. We got Skip. What's going on, man? Ruben, what is going on?
It's time for change. The Democrats didn't do anything. We're innocent. It's guns. Guns kill people.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, look, let's talk about Charlie Kirk, man. What a sin that is, you know. They have a picture of the person apparently who might have. They have a suspect, and I actually have a little picture. I actually want to put him up right here. That's who's a suspect. Apparently, is person of interest. They said, you know,
what a masculine fucking looking guy. What a masculine guy. They're gonna love him in jail. You know, I just hope that I hope they catch him before he fucking offs himself. You know, I hate when they do that shit because I want to know that he's squirming and shit like that. You know,
I would imagine he's gonna die. They're gonna probably die, and that's it. End of it.
You know, I don't know if you fucking guys keep up with the news. And some people like, I don't care about that shit and all that, but you gotta care because this is just gonna change the world. Everything is, you know, right now is like a crucial time. So people are like kind of turn their heads away from shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, but, you know, like a month or so ago, they arrested like 16 Antifa people who were actually running around the woods playing, you know, with guns, and they had fucking big ass rifles, like machine guns and everything. They were actually going to go to ICE detention center and try to shoot it out with ICE agents. And they arrested them. Girls, too. And a few of them were trannies. Well, they're not trannies. Listen. I know fucking trannies, okay? None of these people that they call Trantifa, these people that are online, like, I'm a woman, you know, they're not fucking, that's not a tranny. Do you understand? It's almost like the Brazilian guys down there who have fucking, you know, silicone, what else? Synthol, whatever, throughout the whole fucking body. And, you know what I mean? They look like, you know, the Michelin man. I'm just saying, they're not bodybuilders. What I'm saying is that the whole world is fucking, and this is all because this piece of shit started that whole thing with all the, you know, Black Lives Matter, and, you know, what's his name, Trayvon Martin could be my son, and Michael whatever the fuck, Michael Brown, you know, who tried to reach for a cop's gun and got shot, he could have been my kid, you know, and women, you know, men who identify as women could use the men's bathroom. He started all that shit.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It's crazy, man. You know, and I feel bad for you know, like the family, because I saw a story about Jackie Kennedy, you know, when her husband got shot. You know, there wasn't a lot of video about it until, you know, a Pruder film came out. This is all over the place. So their kids are gonna watch that. That's all over the place.
The Democrats are shitting their pants because they know that they cost. They're not gonna say that. So now all they keep saying is, this is why we're talking about. I watch these fucking fools, and I cringe. You know, like Cory Booker. It's gun violence. We have to stop the violence and the rhetoric. What about rhetoric? Wait, You know, I just saw some fat fucking queer with a mustache, would be like holding up a phone, right, like this, and at the Charlie Kirk, at the memorial for Charlie Kirk, right, and he's like a fucking Nazi. He's a Nazi, and I'm like, okay, wait a minute, hold on a second. So he's a Nazi, right? So how many people did he kill? Just out of curiosity, because the Nazis wiped out almost every Jew in Europe. I mean, there were very few Jews left in Europe. You know that, right? So when you call somebody a Nazi, you got to back that up. Who did Charlie Kirk kill? Because I want to know what Nazism did he do? How was Donald Trump a Nazi? His daughter's an Orthodox Jew, okay, who keeps a kosher house. She was married to Jared Kushner. She is married to Jared Kushner. His grandchildren, the boys, fly on Air Force One with yarmulkes on, right? So how is Donald Trump like a Nazi or a Hitler? How is Charlie Kirk a Nazi or Hitler? You people been fed so much shit. You believe this stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's just unbelievable. You know, it really is. The sick fox, man.
Mike M 1388.
What's going on, guys?
What's going on, man? You know, Charlie Kirk, I think, would have been the next president eventually down the road.
Down the road, he could have been. He could have been. You know, let me tell you some guys, whether you like him or not. The guy gave you could say, Charlie, you're the biggest fucking piece of shit. You're this, you're that. And he would stop his own people from shutting him down. I said, no, let him talk. He would let you. Okay, so how am I a piece of shit? Just tell me, what did I do that I'm a piece of shit? Oh, you know, when you say women are, you know, trans women are not really, they're not real women. They're trans women. You know, I fucked a few. I'm just telling you. And they didn't look like that. Okay, but what I'm saying to you is that it's not you fucking people are shot today. The whole fucking world, all because of this cocksucker. Where is he again? This cocksucker opened up a whole can of worms. He lives in a white neighborhood. He hung out with white people, came out of white vagina and everything else. You know, it's all watch the BLM people, right? They all live in white neighborhoods. AOC grew up down the street from me, privileged, used to hang out at the swimming pool where I used to go all the time. Okay, Junior Lake, any people around at Junior Lake? She walked there. She lived not even a football field away. It was at here's her street, Longview, right there in the corner. She lived on a house in the corner, right down the street, right there's a fucking huge, beautiful, you know, like a water park, you know. Yeah. I used to go there all the time. I used to take my kids there. She used to hang out there with my nieces and everything. All right. These people, she's privileged. When you see her and that other lady, Bernie Sanders, you know, it's about the oligarchy. We got to stop the oligarchy. The fucking guy's got $4 million mansions, right? We got to tax the rich. Remember what I said in the movie, Bigger, Stronger, Faster, right? When a guy has got the thumb up in the air, he's got the middle finger under the table, right? Yes, I'm one of you. I care about you people. You're the ones I give a shit about, right? Meanwhile, you know, remember when AOC started with the cow farts? Remember when she first got in there, the cow fart, beef is bad, and then they caught her in a fucking restaurant with her boyfriend, that fat red-haired dude that she's dating, and she's eating a fucking cheeseburger. I said to her, I thought you said beef is bad. And she's like, this is an invasion of my privacy and all this other shit. These people, they're evil. You don't understand that. I've never seen such evil in my life. Don't get me wrong. I'm in the middle with conservative. I'm conservative, definitely. But, you know, I fucking don't give a shit if you want to marry your dog. If that's what and the dog is into it and you're into it, you could do whatever you want. Just don't shove it up my ass. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Luciano said, Joe, Greg, I saw a video. Even Sank Unger, Shank said condemn that shit.
Dude, for him, he was almost like, this violence has got to stop. Dude, Luciano, you are 100% right. I almost fell off my chair because that fucking guy, for that guy to say, but you know what? You saw, I saw Jamie Raskin saying, yeah, it's violence bad, but you know what? It's the guns. And, you know, everybody's talking about Charlie Kirk and Dime, but nobody's talking about the two kids that were shot in Colorado, right? Same day. There were two people shot in Colorado. They were kids, ironically, at a school. But listen, yeah, they were shot in Colorado. Which isn't Colorado a Democratic fucking city over there? The state that they were shot in a Democratic city in a Democratic state, Colorado, which is so fucking liberal. You might as well, you know, that's like the home of liberals, right? You know what I'm saying? You know, smoke weed, bro. You know the whole bit. You know them and that in Portland. I'm just saying, you know, you fucking people have no fucking. You got no. If just like the chick that was murdered on the bus. You know what's funny? She had fucking Corona. She had BLM posters in her house. right? She supposedly had a picture of George Floyd. She was like sympathizer with that. Sitting on a bus, all non-white people, and watching her sit there. They're all sitting there like this, watching her get stabbed. Then they're sitting there like this, nobody gives a shit. Gets up, walks away. Well, she's fucking bleeding out. She's looking at the savage that did that. Nobody cared. But if that was fucking reverse the races,
oh God,
oh my
there'll
God,
be a parade for miles.
reverse the races. Look at George Floyd. They built a statue to him. He's a piece of shit. He was a piece of shit.
Anthony Zanaboni says, what's the story behind how Greg got into MD? How did he meet Steve Blackman?
Do you really care about that?
I don't know, but
Anthony, they interviewed me, okay, for an interview, not for a job. They did an interview for me for the magazine, and I was saying like crazy shit and stuff, and I talked a little bit about Craig Titus and his, because I used to go to the clubs with him and everything. And Steve Blackman said, "I love this guy. This guy's crazy. I like the way he says shit." And he offered me a job, said to me, "How would you like to write a column?" And I said, "All right." And he said, "Write me a sample column," and I did. And there you go. That's all.
Mike M says the problem with Charlie. The problem was Charlie spoke facts, and the loony left doesn't like that.
Exactly. But Charlie Kirk was the most, he let everybody else talk. He did not give a, there were people like, you're a piece of shit. He'd go, "Okay, I'm a piece of shit." And he'd say, "By the way, what's your name?" "My name is none of your fucking business." "Okay, none of your fucking business. Nice to meet you." I mean, do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So give me a break.
Yeah. He talked about, do you think, Greg, do you think college is a scam? Because I think so too.
College is a scam?
Like, because that's what one Charlie thinks does. And I think it is because.
Oh, yeah, man. I think unless you're going for, like, if you want a law. Dude, first of all, holy fuck. You want to talk about something if you want to fall off your fucking chair?
Go ahead.
You guys want to fall off your fucking chairs? I don't know if you noticed. Some of you, I'm sure, already have heard this. I only found this out since that girl got killed on a bus. By the way, she was a knockout. Ooh, that's my type. Skinny like that, dark eyes. You got me. But do you know what's fucking crazy? The judge that let that savage, that fucking freak go.
Yeah.
Right? Never went to school, never went to college, never went to law school, nothing. Just was appointed. And I'm like, wait, whoa, what?
But judges, I thought they had.
No. In some states, in some cities, you can. My friend was just appointed on a fucking as a court cop, and he was a bricklayer. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, he never took no test. You didn't have to. You have to know somebody. She was appointed. This judge was just a regular person, just like you or I. Knew somebody, maybe the mayor, maybe whoever appoints people as judges, and raise your right hand. Just like right now, you could go if you knew the sheriff of some city, and the sheriff is the elected sheriff, he deputizes whoever he wants. When he gets in there, he fires all the deputies and he hires his own deputy. He could say to you, "Hey, Joe, you want to be a deputy? Here, raise your right hand." That's how it goes.
That's fucking ridiculous.
Listen, any of you guys out there watching this shit, Google it really fast. That woman, the judge, never spent a day in law school, was not a lawyer, didn't even go to college, was an appointed and now they're finding out that there's quite a few of them.
Wow.
That's crazy. None are white.
Anthony says, "Greg, I've been out of work recently, and you've been on a few podcasts throughout the week, giving me something to look forward to. Big fan since 2004. Keep it up." And Joe, a new fan.
Thank you, Anthony. God bless you. Thank you. I like that. I hope you find it. Listen, Anthony, just after what I just said, maybe go see if you can be a judge somewhere. Let me know if you get in.
You could probably get in.
Hire me as your prosecutor. We'll make beautiful. We'll lock up everybody, Anthony. Everybody, even if you come before me for a traffic ticket. If I don't like the way you look, fuck you. You're spending a day in jail.
William Allen says the Dems are trying to get rid of everyone, all the competition.
Dude, the day they get rid of your guns, brother. That's what the Nazis did. That's what they did over in Australia. The minute they get rid of your guns, that's why they keep pushing this gun law. That girl was killed with a knife, a pocket knife. Knife.
I know. John Mancini, hope all is well. I haven't seen you.
John, how you doing, brother?
Yeah, exactly. Dr. Strange shirt. Yes, thank you, John. Yeah, it's been crazy, man. And did you see that video? When he was shot, I knew he was dead.
Oh my god, dude, that fucking guy used a 30-aught, whatever, the 30-aught 6. It's a fucking gun that shoots a bullet. That thing is made to fucking. If that would have hit him here, his brains would have went like this.
Well, he had the canopy over him, so the shot would have been harder. And he did have a bulletproof vest on.
Well, we don't know if he tried. He could have. I mean, first of all, from 200 yards, that's a hell of a shot. Okay, and he hit him in the neck here, right? But you don't know. He could have, the aim could have been right. He could have been aiming for the face, but he's still hitting the neck. He caught him right there on the vein. I mean, that fucking went.
But the blood came out so much.
Yeah, because he hit that vein. You
just ripped
that vein. And they said that even if somebody jumped on top of, what's his name, Charlie, and you stopped the blood, he would have. He had maybe 30 seconds, and he was going to. There's no way you could have saved him.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Because when I saw that, I was like, no way. And when I heard about it,
wait a minute. You know what I don't understand? What do we even know about the fucking guy that tried to shoot the president up on top of the roof? Nobody knows a fucking thing about it. It's like that was like, if that was Biden that was shot like that or Obama, forget about it. There'd be, Democrats would be like, we're not going to let this rest, But it's time people start fucking, fighting back a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You got to, make your voice heard. I'm not saying do anything violent, but you got to fucking make your voice heard.
Yeah. How did the FBI catch 2 people and they release them because they're not the right people? How did that happen?
Because I don't know if they're in on it. Who knows if that's like a diversion? Here, we got this guy. Now let's go, run. You understand what I'm saying? Because there was something where they were saying the old guy that they grabbed. They don't just grab a guy. Like, I think he did it.
They jumped on some old guy.
Somebody for some reason, they believed that guy did it. Okay.
That's crazy.
I don't know. I just find it hard to believe these guys, even the guy on the roof with Trump. Okay. How did he fucking, nobody saw him up there? I mean, nobody, you're telling me he did that on his own? He just decided, I think I'll kill the president. I just find that hard to believe. I'm not a conspiracy guy. Like, George Bush blew up the Twin Towers. Like, get out of here with that shit. You know what I'm saying? I hate when I hear all that stupid shit.
Oh, there was 3,000 people at this event, right? So that means there were 3,000 cell phones there.
But they also knew that the chaos. I mean, the guy was up on the roof. There are people that videotaped him on the roof. And
those are people.
They said that not all the video has been released yet because, they're trying to, they don't want to let, sometimes they don't want to let the guy know what they know already. They already know who the fuck he is and everything else. They know who he is. They have his fingerprints. His palm prints were there and everything.
Yeah, that's
they know who he is because they said they've been they're trying to I think they're following him. They know who his family is. They know all that shit.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. They should have had him by now. You think with the technology and everything they have? So
they should have. If it was me, fucking if I just went to a goddamn traffic stop, they'd fucking have me like, forget about it.
30 seconds. Yeah. AJ88, what's going on, fellas? Hope you're both well. Hey, what's going on, AJ? What is going on?
What's going on, brother?
Yeah. What's going to say? John Scuderi says, yo, just checking in. Leftists
John Scuderi.
Angry people. Yeah, the leftists are just crazy.
It's the left is, listen, they believe in free speech as long as their speech comes out of your mouth. You're not allowed to think freely. They don't want to hear. The minute you try to argue with somebody, look at all these Karens and these women that are going off on people. And it's like, fuck you! You know what I mean? Like, holy shit. You know what I mean? Like they can't take it. The hatred for Trump, they're so delusional. But you got to blame the fucking Democrats for constantly going out there. And, if you tell a lie long enough, people start believing it. Who was the guy that said that in the 1940s? Didn't we talk about this once before? The guy from the 1940s, Lee Harvey, what the hell's his name?
I forget his name.
Whatever his name, very famous guy where he said, if you tell, to cause division and everything else, you put out there false facts. And if you do it long enough, it starts to become, it gets its own, I forgot his name. Fuck. Some of you guys know, I'm sure. But the thing is, hey, what's going on, John? How you doing?
John, how you doing, buddy?
So the thing is that when you put out enough fucking bullshit, these people start believing. How many people really believe that Trump is a Nazi, that those are concentration camps? How do you compare Alligator Alcatraz, where they got air conditioning, television, the whole bit, okay, and you're just kept in by a fucking schoolyard fence? You understand? Not even like brick walls there. Are you going to tell me that you're going to compare that with like Auschwitz? To people who fucking, weren't fed, and that's a detention. You're never there for more than a week or 2 weeks. Then you're flown the fuck out of there. You know, oh, that's a detention center. That's a fucking concentration camp. I don't see nobody out there with striped pajamas, fucking digging ditches and shit in the fucking freezing cold. You know, getting nothing but a bowl of slop to eat for a fucking week. You're out of your fucking mind. How do you compare that shit?
Yeah.
You know?
John Sortino, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk.
Yes, John.
Yes, rest in peace. You know, kind of crazy, man. All this stuff.
Yeah,
I
man.
think all these people should be worried. Like that guy, Myron Gaines. These people, other people that speak at the school. You ever see that guy?
Who?
Myron Gaines, I think's his name. He speaks at schools too. He's
not the little black kid. His little black.
Yes, that black kid. Him, or and there's another guy too. There's a couple of them.
There's a bunch of them, but the thing is, Charlie Kirk really was impactful and changed a lot of people's minds. It brought a lot of, you know what I'm saying? He was, they got a key guy in you know, in the conservative party. That's for sure.
Yeah. Ben Shapiro said that when he used to do the schools, he said, the people said you need security. He's like, really? I don't think. Now he said that he needs 100% security. Because crazy.
You know why? Because Trump won and the left could not take that. They cannot take that. They're still, he's an illegitimate president to them. He's a Russian asset. He's he's a Nazi. They're still doing that shit. And you got congressmen doing that. Look at yesterday, even in Congress, you know, there's people who are, you know, heckling and shit. Look at TMZ. They're trying to, you know, they try to cover their asses saying, well, no, they weren't laughing. Because when they announced it at TMZ, holy shit, Charlie Kirk was shot. And all of a sudden, in the background, you hear chicks screaming and laughing. Yeah. And, whoa, clapping. And TMZ later, after they got some grief for it, they're like, oh, no, they weren't. It was something else. They were watching like a soccer game or something. Bullshit. You fucking liars. You know what I mean?
Yeah. John Scuderi said, I've seen women liberal posting Muslims saying while praising the death of Kirk. Meanwhile, Muslims who throw these liberals off the roofs. It's crazy. It's insane, man.
You know, I seen a great meme with the same people that pushed the Ukraine. You know, Ukraine. We are for Ukraine. Fuck the Russians. You know, we need to support Ukraine. Support Ukraine. Then when a Ukrainian woman dies, the same people like fuck her. She was. You know, they're sick. They're fucking sick. Do you understand that? You know, the same people who arrested everybody. Right? I think Dave Chappelle might have been the one who actually came out with this one. The same people who during COVID wanted everybody wearing a mask and arrested everybody for a mask and actually would call the police and have people arrested because they're not wearing masks are the same people right now fucking attacking fucking the ICE for wearing masks. And the reason why they're wearing masks, it's okay. Antifa does that, right? They wear sunglasses, masks, hat, they're like this. That's what you see for an Antifa, right? It's okay that they do that, right? But you know, if you're gonna put my family and my children and everybody's name and phone number, and you're gonna do that if you're, you know, somebody. I'm talking about if you're an ICE agent, they do that. They put their name out there. They dox the shit out of them, right? That's okay. So what about if we dox you, you motherfucker? You know what I'm saying? You're an ass clown. You're too much. They're cowards. You ever see what those guys look like? You don't. Very rare would I ever see one that's even cute. You know, a fucking chick. You know, I think they should shut TikTok down. You know, even though my girlfriend's fucking got a huge TikTok channel, I think they should shut that shit down. It's too much fucking shit on there, and you know, it's fucking crazy, bro. The liberals on there are they're sick fucks.
Yep. John Saldy said, Greg, wasn't there a lot of buildings? Sorry, not up to date with the info on Charlie. R.I.P. Charlie. Yeah, I mean that guy must have had the entire, layout.
Yeah, you're talking about a lot of buildings on there. Yeah, there was
he knew where to go.
But the thing is, he had the perfect angle.
He knew where to go.
Listen, you're not going to tell me he just thought about this. You know what? Fuck, I think I'm going to go shoot Charlie Kirk. This was fucking planned. He knew where Charlie Kirk was going to sit. He had a perfect angle. Charlie Kirk was sitting underneath the canopy and like off to the side. You know? I mean, it was a shot that, you know, he knew what he was doing. I know that a lot of people saying, he must be military. Nobody can do a shot. Like, listen to me. First of all, you get the right gun with the right scope. They showed where the fucking thing was. You could see the holes in the top of the roof where there's like grit up there, and you can see where where the thing goes like this, and then you put the gun in. But you got to remember, these guys on these Antifa fucking freaks have been training for this shit. They just Google it, bro. Don't you remember like a month and a half ago, they arrested like 16, some were fucking Trantifa and all that shit. And they arrested him because they arrested him with so many guns and they had machine guns. They were planning to go to the ICE where there was an ICE agency right there, and they were going to try to shoot it out with ICE agents.
That's
So
ridiculous.
if you think that these people aren't fucking, they're preparing for war. Right now they're throwing fucking bottle rockets and fucking M80s and shit at you. You know what I'm saying? When they have their little fucking meltdowns. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if that was a fucking black woman and a white dude stabbing her in the neck like that?
Oh God.
There'd be fucking burning down buildings right now. There'd be fucking savages running around, Bill, and then you get the white people, BLM, until it's fucking one of them. Not for nothing, but she was a BLM sympathizer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, my son is at college, and he says in the dorm he lives at, he says he doesn't know how to get to the roof of his building and over.
No,
so this guy knows.
This guy, Joe, this guy planned it. He knew to where Kirk was going to sit.
Yeah.
He wasn't in the middle. He was to the side. You had to have a perfect angle. You have to know how to line up. He wasn't in the middle either. He was off to the side, the guy. And what's with security? You don't fucking fly as, I mean, first thing you're going to think of is somebody's going to be on the roof.
That's the first thing you think of, right? That's the first thing I would cover, the roof.
Right?
I'll be like looking at the roof. That's the first thing you think of. Every movie, the roof.
That's what I don't understand.
Every movie is always on the roof.
The first place you look is on the fucking roof of the building, right?
That's the first place you look.
There's not going to be some guy in the front row with a fucking gun, boom, like this, and try to cut through that crowd.
Right, be in the roof.
This ain't Sirhan and shit,
Exactly. Glad Max, Heidi Ho, Glad Max. William Allen says the Biden DOJ got rid of the kid on the roof ASAP. I didn't live an hour from that shooting. Glad I didn't go.
William, there's something wrong with that whole situation. That's not normal. You know nothing about the guy. How did that freak? Right? Another one. You ever notice these guys are all freaks? Like skinny, fucking, like, Antifa. You know what I mean? They're all pussies. You ever see them try to throw hands? They're like fucking, it's like somebody trying to put out a fire until you get one of these like fucking jack dudes that are standing knocking them out and shit. You get a biker dude fighting like 5 of them. And they're all standing there with their little backpacks on and like, coming at him like this, and then they fucking bang,
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. What it says, John Mancini said the late night guys sent their condolences to Charlie's family as well. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Luciano said not Oswald. What was it? My brother George said Paul Harvey.
Paul Harvey. Thank you, George. Thank you. I knew George would find. Paul Harvey's the guy who said back in the 1940s, if you want to win the people over, you got to start throw some fake shit out there and keep it going. And after a while, people will believe. He had a whole thing, about fucking divide and conquer and all this shit. Take away their guns. Tell them they're better off. It's for their best interest. It's for your best interest. For me to keep you safe, I need to take all the guns off the streets. That's how it starts. Then start telling you, feed them lies. After a while, they will believe it. You understand? They will believe it.
Yep. I mean, even Trump was almost killed with somebody on the roof. So that's the first place you go. You go.
And who ran the Secret Service? That was fucking Biden. That was probably Biden. That kid was probably expendable. They probably fed him in money and shit. It's funny because the family, they tried to talk to the family about it. Nobody wants to talk about it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I think the families, like these school shooters and shit, I think if that's your kid that goes off, I think you should be locked up too. You fucking give birth to that shit, and you can say, well, wait, it's not their parents' fault. Oh, yes, it is. They all know that there's something wrong with their kid, and you allow a kid to fucking. Let me tell you something. When I was young, I told my father I wanted, I want a little more privacy in my room. I want to put a lock on the door. My father said, okay, we'll do one better. I'll fucking take the door off the hinges. How about that? That's my room. Matter of fact, maybe I'll sleep in that bed tonight, right next to you. And I'm like, oh, that's not fair. It's just not fair. Well, one day when you're old, you get your own house and you call the shots. This is my house. This is a dictatorship. You know what I mean? I give you paradise here. You get whatever you want, but you fuck with that and you're going to, you're going to lose. These parents, you know what? Little Johnny's downstairs, not working, Joe, and fucking video games. And you know what video games you do? Killing people constantly. I never played a video game in my life. When I was younger, I played like Pong and shit like that, Maybe I'm showing my age, like Galaxia and stupid shit like that in a fucking bar. They're gonna keep hitting the fucking thing.
Yeah, and it's sad, Greg, because my son's in college. They feed you that stuff in college.
Oh, I know,
and I know because I've had some little arguments with my son. They feed you that stuff in college.
That's the problem with college. It's all liberal. Look at some of these people going off. on TikTok. One's an anesthesiologist. She's got a ring to her fucking nose. She got fucking green teeth. They're chipped and shit. You know what I'm saying? She's got tattoos all over. She's ugly as shit. And she's over there like, ha, 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 fuck him. He died. Fuck him. The guy that killed him here. And I'm sitting there like, man, I would never. Who fucking wants to? You're laying in a hospital about to get fucking operated on. You see that that's your anesthesiologist? I'd be like, hold on. Can we get rid of that?
Yep. Here's the guy, Greg. This is the guy right here.
Yeah, look, that's a masculine. That's a fucking guy. He's training for the fucking Tran Olympia. You know what I'm saying?
Look at this guy.
Yeah, it's disgusting, bro. You think a guy like that, you can throw hands? I don't give a shit if he's doing jujitsu. You know what I mean? I'll bite him. I'll do exactly what fucking like Rampage Jackson said. I'd love to if I'm in a street fight. I would love to fight a guy who thinks he's going to take me with jujitsu. He goes, then I'll start fucking biting him and poke his eyes out. You know what I mean? Fuck that shit.
Not
that I'm putting down jujitsu. My daughter's a jiu-jitsu, but I'm just saying I love jujitsu. It's not that. But what I'm saying is a fucking guy like that ain't beating up nobody. He needs a gun. He needs a gun.
0311 says it is not the point that he made a 200-yard shot. It's the infill and exfill without detection. The signals from the security team, the ball guy with the hat, quick fall, so the shooter got away.
Listen, that's what I just said, 03. Listen to me. I just said when they arrested that old guy, a lot of people believe that was a detour. That guy was there as part of it, making it least so the cops, you focus. There he is over there. It's almost like if Joe and I were going to, if I said to Joe, listen, let's rob a bank. What we'll do is we're going to go to this bank. We're going to rob this bank in town, but we're going to go on the outskirts of the town. There's another bank. We'll have chaos over there. We'll light off a bomb, maybe light the building on fire. So all the cops and all the fucking everybody's going to go there so that we can go what we got to do with this bank. Yeah, gabish. Okay. Yep. So what I'm saying to you is diversion.
Correct.
The only way, I don't believe this guy did this alone. I believe he's part of an Antifa fucking thing. Now, I'm not a conspiracy guy, guys. I'm not one of those guys that 9/11 was an inside job and George Bush, please. The fuck out of here with that shit. Please, I don't want to hear any of that. Building number 7 went down. Yeah, because when you're fucking, the impact of this building going down is going to knock out everything. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to get into that shit because some of you guys are nuts with that. The bottom line is, I believe it just like that fucking guy that was in, that from the Mandalay Bay that was shooting fucking people at that fucking, at the concert. They were shooting.
You think this guy could plan it himself? He's got to have a team of people.
No. Look at it. First of all, I believe that he has a Batman. He had a team of people. I believe in diversion. 03, I agree with you. I don't care about the 200-yard shot. I think that, dude, I might even be able to make that shot. You know what I'm saying? If you sit there with a gun, those guns are fucking. The gun is so perfection. Plus, he's practiced that shit. Don't kid yourself. It's not that. It's how the fuck did he get out of there? Especially since they said he might have been on the roof for another 5 minutes after the shot was shot.
He don't look that fast.
The first thing you just bop, he got shot. Get check the roof, get on the roof, right?
Yeah.
Instead, you went about an old man, fucking right. They had some fucking 80-year-old man on the ground. So, they didn't just pick an old man. It's somewhere. There's other people involved. It's a diversion. How did he get? How did he get up and down that roof? They already know how it happened. They're not going to tell us now. We'll find out later. But you don't just climb up on a roof. Here, let me get my gun and just climb up there with one hand and get up there. I used to climb roofs all the time, bro. When I was young. Now I couldn't climb. I can't even climb out of bed. But what I'm saying is this all stinks. You know what I mean? It stinks like shit, and I just don't believe it's what we're seeing.
BBQ Sauce says, "Hey Joe and Greg, what's going on? What's up?"
Hey BBQ Sauce, what's going on, brother?
BBQ Sauce says they get radicalized on Reddit and Facebook.
They get more. TikTok is fucking really nuts. I mean, that's the libs of TikTok. I mean, it's legendary there. But you notice, guys? Do you notice this? The guys are always. It's never like really jacked or fucking masculine men. It's always pussies, and the women are always either fucking. There's a few cuties. Okay, not many, but there is a few cute. But the women are more fucking psycho than the men with that fucking shit. The women are more hate and more like the Karens and all those fucking nut jobs. I mean, there's a lot more women who are left than there are men. You know what I mean? It's really crazy. It's a thing now. And the one thing with Charlie Kirk is he was bringing a lot of college people towards him. You know?
Yep. John Soriano says Charlie Kirk, in my humble opinion, would have definitely been a president for our country. Yes, 100%.
Well, I think he would have been a great president because he was a lot like Trump. He was a lot like Trump.
That's why they took him out.
Not as obnoxious and stuff, but he wasn't afraid to tell his way. But he also gave everybody the chance. Do you know how many people called him a piece of shit to his face? You're a lying piece of shit. Fuck you. And he said, okay, all right, no, let him speak. When people try to heckle the person or go after me, no, let him speak. He would let him speak all the time. And sometimes the people at the end would be like, you know what, I kind of respect you now. You let me speak and shit. He was good. They took out a key piece. Let me tell you something.
That's exactly what they did. They took out a key piece because they knew in the future he would harm them.
Who is it? Just tell me right now. One of you guys, you tell me right now. Who is a key person? Who do we have fear in the Democratic Party that could actually become a president? And like, there's nobody. They have nobody.
They don't.
They have nobody. They're talking about AOC or Jasmine Crockett. Are you fucking serious? You think that they can win? Jasmine Crockett every day talking about what's all y'all motherfuckers and shit. What you got there to crack your ass, bitch? You know what I mean? You see when she called Nancy Mace, girl child, please. And she goes, do you want to call me that again? I'll take you outside, Nancy Mace. And everybody's like, oh, okay. What you got in the crack of your ass?
That's our future. That's our future.
You think that could have hurt AOC, like, with her lies when she's standing outside a fucking parking lot making believe she's watching kids in cages and shit, Remember that shit when Trump was president the first day? And then they take the real picture of her. She was outside a parking lot somewhere with a bunch of other she's a fuck dude. She's from my town. She's a fucking freak, bro.
Yeah.
She's a freak. Okay, my nieces went to school with her. She hung out at the fucking pool.
Yeah. Let's see. I heard his reward is $100K. Whoever has info on the news.
Dude, if I was Trump, I'd say, you know what? Kids, peel off $1 million, throw $1 million. Somebody in that Antifa is sitting back there going, holy, even 100,000. He's sitting back there going, holy shit. I know Bill Matarazzo did it. What if I go to the FBI and I tell them, but I want it anonymous? Can you give me the money anonymous? Yeah, we'll give you the money anonymous. Fine. Give us all the fucking shit give us it. Dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And Utah is a death penalty state.
Oh,
so they're already saying.
The governor was friends with Kirk and said.
He said, I'll be pulling the plug.
That's right, baby. That's right. Good for them.
Saying, light it up.
Listen. God forgives sinners. Listen to me, guys. John Saldi, I know you've been locked up. I've been locked up. A few of us over here have been locked up. God forgives sinners. He doesn't forgive hardened criminals. You're not going to tell me some guy does all these things to children, the R word and does all this, and then one day, just when he gets caught, I found Jesus, and because like my mother used to say to me, if you did anything heinous, like if I ever did anything like really heinous, right, she'd be like, wouldn't stop me from loving you, but you'd have to stay in jail, and I'd be the first one saying keep him in jail because if he comes out, I'll kill him. Do you understand? Because I believe that God looks at you and says, listen, okay, you fucked up, but you still got to suffer for what you did. You can't say, oh shit, I had all those kids on a meat hook in my basement and I did all this other shit, but I'm sorry, God, forgive me. I don't believe that. That's bullshit. Right? God forgives sinners and doesn't forgive hardened criminals. You know what I mean? We all do stupid things, right? Some of you have done stupid things. You never got caught. God bless you. I did stupid things and I got caught. But I was the only guy when I was locked up. I was the only guy in there saying, dude, I'm a fucking asshole. I am fucking asshole. I told the judge loved me because I told him I deserve it. I'm sorry, I'm an asshole. And he loved me for that. You know why? Because everybody else is there. Like, it's not my fault. He ratted or somebody ratted or, my girlfriend, everybody in jail. Nobody did anything wrong. You know what I mean? No, I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah. And you know how stupid the FBI looks right now? They get the wrong person. They say they have 2 people in custody. They're the wrong people. Oh, we got another clue. We found
why? You know why? Because Kev Patel is still a little green. And I think he wants to they're so, like, somebody must have told him, calm down, take it easy, breathe. Let's not put too much out there. You got to let the rats, think, there's no cat here. Let's go play. You know what I'm saying? You got to let him think he's getting away with things or we don't know. You don't let them know too much, right? If you pulled off a crime, one of you guys watching this shit, right? If you pulled off a crime, you'd be watching you want to know everything the cops know. You want to? Do they know it was me? Do they know like where I live, or do they know I drive a red car? Or do they want it? You'd want to know everything. So what because you want to make your escape route, and I'm just saying. I think that somebody got their cash for Telton, dude. Cool the jets. I know you want to make the fucking arrest. This is the first real big thing he's had to do.
Night Rider says, I've hunted all my life. A 200-yard shot is easy, even for a beginner. Well, you said you just hunted your whole life, so it's easy for you. But he had to be comfortable with a gun.
I'm sure that's not the first time he pulled the trigger. Okay. I'm sure he practiced this.
Yeah.
Okay. Plus, you have the gun. It's stable. The guy's sitting. He's not standing. Trump was standing, moving around. You understand what I'm saying? Now, I got to move around quickly, real fast. I got to pee. Hold on one second.
You got to pee. Okay. Yeah. You got to pee.
You was moving around. I can hear you guys talk. Hold on.
All right. John Mancini says, Ruben, he needs a jumbo Palumbo cookie. LOL. John Saldy said, Greg, speaking of no secret, I've been in and out of the hospital all year, but one of the smoking hot nurse I got cool with, she told me it's frowned upon to have tattoos in the healthcare industry. Really? I thought it'd be, why would they care, 0311 says, correct, diversion. Yes. It's Antifa. This was Massa backed. His security team was in and out on it, hand singling. Yeah, I mean, I saw those videos with the guy apparently like looking in the back, touching his hat, like to move or something. So it's possible, because there's no way this guy did it himself. If you look at the guy, there's no way this guy did it himself. He doesn't look. He's not Batman.
I don't see how you can't have tattoos, being a nurse or being in a doctor. Or there's doctors with tattoos and nurses. It's like when my son first went in. My son wanted to go in the Marines, right? And my son's got a lot of tattoos, but he got them when he was in high school and shit. And they were like, nah, because you could have them, but you can't have them showing. This is back, guys. This is back a long time ago. It's like 15, 20 years ago. So my son wound up going in the Army, but he was special ops intelligence. You know what I'm saying? My son did all that shit. But what I'm saying is he wanted to be a Marine. They wouldn't let him be a Marine. Now, you got to remember, tattoos, when I first got them, nobody had them. You know what I mean? Like, I remember my fucking probation officer was like, when did you get those? And I'm like, oh, fuck, I have had them before I was arrested. Go look at my arrest photos. You know what I mean? What are you talking about? Like you almost giving me, breaking my butt. Now today, everybody's got tattoos. My daughter's got sleeves and shit. I'm just saying, so, but you can't discriminate, especially with a woman, bro. All she has to say is, wait, what? You don't like, I got a tattoo and you don't want me? That's pretty, you're misogynistic. I want to talk to, what do you call it? Human resources, and forget about it. Whoever said that's going to get in trouble.
Yeah. Zen said Newscomb, Hillary, Al Franken. That's about it, to be honest, but I wouldn't underestimate any of them.
Newscomb is not going to get anywhere. Okay. He's not, I think people see through him. He destroyed. Hillary's fucking done. You know what I'm saying? And Al Franken, are you kidding me? No way. Al Franken, he's not even in the picture. They're heavy hitters right now that Bernie Sanders is, believe it or not, Mondani, which let him get in New York, which he's going to destroy New York if that happens, right? Mondani will destroy New York. Okay. But right now, him, AOC, and Jasmine Crockett are the fucking big frontrunners. They're the people that everybody, like, the left is like this. Even people like Chuck Schumer, they don't fuck with AOC. AOC said, Chuck, you do this, you do that. And Chuck is like, okay. You know what I mean? Like a dog.
Let's not forget though. Also, today is 9/11. September 11th. I know Charlie Cook's. It's kind of big, but
it's actually my girlfriend died 25 years ago yesterday.
That's the way.
Yeah,
correct.
25 years ago yesterday. So 9/11, I was there. I was at a round the clock diner, and I left at 7:00. Around the clock diner was right there, and I left. And when I got home, all of a sudden I hear the World Trade Center went down. So if I would have stayed there another hour or so, I would have, I don't think it didn't come down then, but I would have been there when it hit.
Yeah.
I was
Knight Rider says there would have been a scope on the gun, and that would have made it easy shot. I agree with you.
Knight Rider, listen, there was a scope on the gun. I saw they showed the roof. They showed when they talk about the forearm print, there's like a white, like not pebbles. It was almost like sand on that roof, believe it or not. And they showed he leaned like this because you see the forearm print. I saw it. And in the two holes where the triangles and the gun leans on the triangle like that. So there's definitely a scope. You can't do that without a scope.
No. Johnny Autism Wrestling says, something's been bugging me. I don't know if it's me. I think there's two people involved because of the question and what was asked to Charlie. I think the FBI needs to look into that.
I saw that too, Johnny. I saw that too, but I don't know. How does that guy had to wait to take the shot at the right second? If you notice, there was somebody standing and then stepped away, and then Charlie went back and boom, that's when it hit. I think it was coincidence, but there may have been something to it. But how would the guy up on the fucking roof, unless he has an earpiece in, and he's listening? I don't know. I don't think that was set up that way, but we'll find out. I'm sure. Listen, the FBI's all over this. They need to make a big stink with this. They're gonna listen. You barely heard that today was even 9/11. Do you understand what I'm saying? You don't even know, like you didn't hear much. Normally they'd be shoving that up our ass all day, all night. Now, and listen, don't get me wrong. When I say that, God forbid, 9/11 was horrendous, and I knew people had died in that.
Yeah, so did I.
But I'm just saying, it would be nonstop playing. That's how they got very little play today, 9/11, because this thing was so big, and even the girl that was stabbed. You got to remember, listen. My children are half black. You know what I'm saying? My ex-wife she's mulatto. They're quarter black. Okay. But their grandfather's black. You know what I'm saying? And on the obviously not on my side, but we're Guineas, so that we're half black. But there's people now who are starting to white dudes are getting fed up with, but there's they showed it on TV. There's people who are starting to get I can't take this anymore.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking crazy.
I can't take this anymore. I don't look at the race thing like that. I think that there's savages on both sides, and there's some people who are professional victims. You know what I mean?
Yep. Anthony said, thoughts on the UFO video that the Hellfire.
Amazing, Anthony, holy fuck, was that amazing? Joe, do you know about that?
No, I don't know. What are they talking about?
UFO. There's a UFO, a Navy warship shoots a fucking missile at it and hits it. The missile breaks up and blows apart, and the UFO just kept going. Didn't even dent the fucking thing. This is Pentagon. Joe, it's Pentagon shit. They had it on. I swear to God, Google it.
Get the fuck out of here. I didn't see this.
George Zapata, if you are watching this, Google it and show it to Joe.
Please show me the video. I didn't see this shit. When did this happen?
It's the most amazing thing. The UFO's going like this. They shoot a fucking like a badass rocket at it. It hits it, and the rocket explodes. And nothing happens to the UFO. Just goes on its way and goes over the ocean and probably
went. It's not AI or anything like that. It's
no. This was brought before Congress and everything. This is a
my God.
Oh no, this is a big thing, bro. This is a big thing. Listen, I'm not big on UFOs, but there's definitely something there. If you know anything about history, did you know that fucking in his memoirs there, Christopher Columbus talked about how he was on the deck of his fucking boat at night. And he said, all of a sudden, underneath the ocean, a giant light, he said it was like the sun was underwater, and it came up and it just shot out and went out like that. And obviously he didn't know what a UFO was, or he didn't know what an alien ship was, but he said, I don't know what the fuck it was, but he said, I wasn't dreaming. I watched it happen. That's a true story. Go Google that shit too. Christopher Columbus.
I know, Greg, you say about UFOs, you don't really believe in that, but your mother-in-law.
Dude, my mother-in-law's, that's an unidentified human object. That's an unidentified. That's the fucking Yeti. That's the missing link. That you're looking for Bigfoot. That's a midget Bigfoot.
Luciano said, here's an idea. Make college tuition $1 million a year so no one can afford it. Within about 3 years.
No, listen, guys, listen to me. Listen, you want to make money? Either go in the Army or Navy. I meant go in the military, right? Join the military if you want. If you really if you're broke, you have no direction. If you don't have family, whatever. Go in the military. Come out. Get on a police force. Get on a fucking fireman. Get a civil service job. They pay fucking phenomenal. When you're done, it's not what you do today. Okay, don't be a fucking Momo. I was on the police and I got hit in the eye with a wire and I fucking relinquished my position. I wasn't on for just shy 2 years. And by now I would have been fucking chief of police. You know what I mean? I was fucking 84 to 86. Here's the thing. You get a pension. It's what you do today at 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. What you do today affects what happens to you when you're my age, 65. Do you understand? I have no pension. Do you understand? I made money as a drug dealer. I made all this money. I thought, I got it made, bro. I used to think like, oh, fuck, I got it made. But just like all drug dealers, the Uncle Sam cometh in and taketh away. Do you understand what I'm saying? And then you get Ugats, and then the wife takes the money, the ex-wife, and then this happens, So, I could have very easily gone back to drug dealing and made the money again, but I'm not stupid. I stick my hand in the fire, it burns. I don't go, holy shit, wait, let me try that again. I don't do that shit. Some of the COs, when I got, released, they were like, you'll be back. Pieces of shit like you. You can't do anything else. That's all you know to make money. It's not true, But listen, get a civil service job, go in the military, do something with yourself, or go get a fucking trade. You can go to the island of Botswana. They're always going to need, as long as there's people driving cars, there's always going to be a need for somebody to fix a car. There's always going to be a need for a carpenter. There's always going to be a need. When I was young, those kind of jobs, that's because the Guinea immigrants and fucking Irish, they did all that shit, right? If they weren't gangsters or cops, they were fucking, they laid stonemasons, and they did concrete, and they did plumbing, and they did all that shit. So it was like a shit job. But today, you have a house, go get a plumber to come to you. I got an electrician here right now. If you get a house, go get an electrician to come do something, or go get a plumber to do something, and watch how much you got to pay for that shit. It's a trade jobs that make a lot of money. You don't have to go to college. You need to go to college if you want to be a lawyer. You need to go to college if you want to be a doctor. You need to go to trade school if you want to be a nurse, shit like that. But you don't need college. You know what a lot of kids go to college for? Because they're not ready to fucking start the real world and be mature.
100% right. 100%.
I know guys who made a living going to college. They're fucking college 10 years. What are you taking up? I'm taking up like business and or they think they're taking up law enforcement. I'm taking up criminal justice. You know what that means? Nothing. Nothing. You try to go. That's not going to get you on an old police academy. You still got to take a police test. You know what they say? They used to laugh when I was in a police academy. They would laugh at those guys. You guys that you think you know something? You don't know nothing. You understand? There are certain jobs that require college. If that's where you're going to go, then you got to go to college.
And most people don't even use their degree. I don't use my degree. And I was going to tell you, mine's in criminal justice too.
Wait,
I know a lot of criminals.
I didn't know. Wait, you went to college?
Yeah, I went to college. I don't even use my degree. My ex-wife went to college. She don't even use it. I mean, no one uses their degree.
Your ex-wife doesn't need to go to fucking a degree. She has you to fucking hit for money. No, that's what, dude. Let me tell you something. That's another thing, you guys. If you fucking a woman scorned, bro, forget about it. But you don't really need college. But get a trade or go in a fucking army. And I keep saying army, military, any version of the military you can get your ass in there. And use that. They will help you get a loan for a house. They do everything for you. You understand? My son, they paid for it. My son was magna cum laude in Albany State after, and they put him, he did digital forensics and all this shit. And they put him through everything. He didn't pay a dime. He just used the government like that, Like you get that.
Yeah. Mike M said Patel is in on it.
What? No, Patel's not in on it.
Zen
Patel was friends with him, not for nothing.
Zen, I'll be honest, with the liberals today stink.
Dude, they're bad. They're fucking bad. Remember something, guys. The Democratic Party is the one who started the KKK. They were Democrats. You know how much they hated Abraham Lincoln?
That's true.
When they had his posters when he was running for president, they showed a picture of a monkey with a suit and that top hat on. Because they called him a monkey because they thought he was on the side of the blacks and all that shit. That's a true story, bro. Go Google it. Google posters of Abraham Lincoln as a monkey. The Democrats put those. You want that as your president? A monkey lover? That's what they did. Yep. So don't think it's amazing how today the minorities and stuff, how they or just stuck on that plantation of the Democrat. They believe their captor. It's like Stockholm syndrome. You know what I mean? Yeah. When I was younger, there was a girl, Patty Hearst, right? Her father, forgot his name, fucking Hearst, the Hearst family. They owned everything. They were like the Trump of the '70s, early '70s and '60s and shit, right? And all of a sudden, she got abducted. It's for ransom from this team of people. and nobody heard what the hell happened. They thought they killed her, right? All of a sudden, like a year or two later, there was a huge bank robbery in New York City. And they see, holy shit, they're looking at the fucking cameras, right? In the bank. And it's Patty Hearst standing there with a machine gun. And what happened was she had Stockholm syndrome. Do you understand? It's like after a while, when you're with them, you understand, you start believing their shit. You become one of them. You know what I mean? It's called Stockholm. Google what that means. Stockholm syndrome. And that's what happens with them. They actually believe, like, no, they're here to help me. No, they're not. You're their fucking dog. Do you understand that? You're their dog. You're their little fucking, they got you in a cage and you don't even see it.
Yep. John Sorrentino said, Knight Rider, did they find the Stope etching of transgender bullshit on the casting and rifle? Because they found something, he etched something.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I don't doubt it. Listen,
I heard that.
Those are not transgenders. You know that, right? That's not a real transgender. These are people who've been believed. These are people of the mind control. Do you understand? Like of the left and at school, these nuts and school teachers and college professors that make you believe, like, maybe I am a woman. And you see them, they're still growing beards because Barack Obama said, if you identify as a woman, you can even use the female bathrooms and all this shit. Now, he started that shit. Do you understand?
That's crazy.
None of this shit came around. I don't understand. There's there's legitimate transgenders out there, but that's not them. You know what I mean? The real ones are like, what the fuck is that? You know what I mean? Like you look at that and you're like, what?
If you're a man and you like to dress up like a woman, get dressed in a man's locker room with other guys. And just
listen,
and
that's a fetish. That's a fetish. Listen, Bruce Jenner, bro, when I grew up, I loved that guy. He was a fucking athlete. He boxed. He sparred with Muhammad Ali, bro.
Yeah.
He had a chance to play pro football.
He wasn't bad looking as Caitlyn.
What's that?
He wasn't bad looking as Caitlyn.
No. But listen, I mean, like, you don't just get like 68, 70 years old, I think I've been a woman. I think I've been a woman for a long time. No, dude, you're a cross-dresser that you took that fetish a little bit too far. Do you understand? Okay, you feel like you prance around in your wife's clothes, you get a boner, and you fucking spakim to it, like, so, but then all of a sudden you start getting in your mind, you start convincing yourself, maybe I look a little good like this shit, you know what I mean? Yeah. And then you start getting like into it too much, and before you know, you and your wife are getting divorced because you can't get out of her clothes, and you start believing it, call me Caitlyn, and it's bullshit. You don't become the true transgenders are somebody that they grow into that, like they, and it's not something none of them, their parents were down with it. Do you understand?
And Bruce Jenner was dating like some of the hottest women back in the day.
Oh, dude, when I was young,
Victoria Principal, I think maybe.
Oh, he was the first guy on the box of Wheaties. You know when they had the super athlete?
Yeah, of course.
Dude, he beat. And if you know anything, if any of you guys are old, if you remember, he beat the super athlete, the Russian, who was hands down considered the best athlete on the planet, and he beat him for the decathlon. He was a monster, bro. If that guy wanted, he could click off those heels. I don't know if that's a wig, but he could pull off that fucking wig, and he could throw hands if he wanted. You know that, right? He's not some fucking pussy, and he's like 6'4".
Wow. Ruben said his son Ethan said that some guy on a scooter got beat down for disrespect.
Yeah, I watched it. Well, they were having a vigil for Charlie Kirk, and he ran with a scooter, and you're going through a vigil. And you're going, fuck Charlie Kirk, fuck him, I'm glad he's dead and all that shit. So what did everybody do? That's like going through a BLM riot like this with a scooter and going, NAGG, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're going to get a beat down, bro. Yeah. And they beat the fuck out of him.
It's not good.
That's what you get. I mean, how stupid can you be?
Our generation growing up now, it's going to be horrible, this next generation.
Yeah, Skip, trust me. My girlfriend's mother, she's talk about fucking
midget Bigfoot. I can't even.
Listen. She's a nice guy, but she's I always make jokes. Me and my girlfriend go to the supermarket. We fool around. I'll say, we'll be talking. I'll say, is your mother coming up? And then, I say, and I say fucked up shit about her. And the girl at the counter is like, oh my God, if you're talking about your mother like that. And I say, oh no, his mother's a nice guy. You know what I mean? You got to see, she's got a goatee and shit. She's like fucking 350 pounds, but she's 5'4", 5'4", 4'5", you know what I mean? My girlfriend laughs. She'll tell you. I even say it to the doctors. We go to doctors. I make jokes and shit.
John Sorrentino said Columbus was an Italian. Greg, I think he had too much wine.
No, Columbus was Italian. The Guineas didn't want to fucking support him, so he flew under the Spanish flag. He was Italian. That's what Italians. Listen, he was a piece of shit. Okay, he was not a good guy. So don't think I'm sitting here. And I say this. My father was the founding leader of the Christopher Columbus Society in Westchester County, where, you know, he started in the Bronx and then he became the big shit, you know, in Westchester. My father, you know, it was because it's a Guinea thing, you know what I mean? It's Italian, you know, you can't say to Italian Americans, like, you know, that shit. But I'm Italian American. He was a piece of shit. But he was Italian. He was Italian. It was Christopher Colombo, I think it was. And then he flew under the Spanish flag because Italy did not want any part of him. He was a lunatic. And he was bad to the fucking Native Americans.
Diego Ling said Patel and his wife were in on it. Well, the FBI,
dude, I wouldn't mind. Listen, can I tell you? I wouldn't mind being in on Patel's. I don't think they're married. I think maybe they might have gotten married. I know that when he was just getting honored in, it was his girlfriend. But I'd like to be in on her. Go check her out. She's a piece of ass.
Oh, look, we got Ace in there. Ace, good morning, guys. Hey, Greg.
Look,
Greg, check out the email I just sent you. He said, Greg, send out. Yeah, I got the Ace glasses right over here, too.
There you go.
Got them up here. Right over there.
Ace.
Everyone go get your Ace gun glasses. He said, Greg, check out the email I just sent you. Insanity.
Oh, yeah, I'll check it out. I'm on here now. Did you send it to my email or did you send it to or my Instagram?
Is she a 4x4? Ruben Sanchez said you're
bro, she's a 4x10. She's like 4 high and 10 feet. You know, she's nuts too. She's fucking nuts. I have so many stories I can tell that I haven't told you yet that I know I gotta keep saying I'm gonna do it. I'll get around to it, but she's fucking nuts, man. You have no idea.
He said he sent it to your email.
Oh, okay. I'll check. Thank you.
Check it out. Let me know. I gotta see this video with this UFO, by the way, because I don't.
George, where's George?
I will check it out. John Mancini said it's on YouTube, so I'm going to check it out because
Joe, it's everywhere. They brought it before Congress, and they were like, "We don't know." They said the crazy thing is they said that. Sorry, I don't know. COVID. They said I don't know how they know this, but they said it doesn't run on fuel. They don't know what it runs on. I don't know how they can tell that. You know what? No, I think he said they think that doesn't run on fuel because there's no fuel trail. Like the heat sensors doesn't show like the fuel, like, you know, obviously if you burn fuel, it's got to be a back door to it. And it wasn't. So they have no idea. But this thing fucking hit it dead on, Joe. And the missiles exploded and it fucking didn't even move that thing. The thing just kept going.
John Mancini said, is your mother-in-law in the next Toxic Avenger movie?
Oh, she is the Toxic Avenger. They wrote that's her biography. You know, I want you to know the first Toxic Avenger they filmed at my gym. Well, wait a minute, hold on. My gym when I owned Peak Skill Fitness Center. You're talking like 1986, maybe. They were in there, and Rick Collins, the Rick Collins, the lawyer, he was one of the Toxic Avengers.
Oh, wow.
He was in the movie and everything. Yeah, Rick Collins used to train in my gym. Me and Rick Collins forget about it. We go way back 40 years. Wow. Yeah. There's Rick Collins. Nobody knew that, but Rick Collins was once an actor, then became a lawyer. But he was in the Toxic Avenger.
Yeah. Well, guys, we're going to be wrapping up. We're already over an hour in. If any of you guys see this guy right here, this Batman guy.
Let's keep it going until we find him.
Yeah, keep it going until we find this guy.
He's a pussy. If you bump into him, throw him a beating, and then what's left of him, you call the cops and have them take it away.
Yeah. Thank you guys again. Ace, thank you so much for everything.
Thank you guys, man.
Ruben Sanchez, of course, John Mancini, Knight Rider, Zen, Luciano, Mike M, 13038, Ruben Sanchez, everyone, all you guys. We really appreciate it. Anthony, Johnny, who else is in here? I miss anyone else I see in here? Luciano, everyone, thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
Rest in peace, Charlie
Ruben
Kirk.
Sanchez.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy, man. Everything that's going on.
It's nuts. Listen, if you can't turn your back on this shit because it's going to affect you down the road. You know what I mean? You got to just be aware of what's going on in your surroundings. You know what I mean? Put it this way. If I ever sat on a fucking subway or train or whatever, or bus, I don't know what I'd be doing on that, but I certainly wouldn't have my back turned. Do you know that there's one of the guys from Fox News was saying that he rides one of those, the city bikes, Joe, that they have?
Yeah.
I think they're motorized now. I don't even know. But he said he rides that. He said he won't even go on the subway. He'd rather ride that city bike through the city on the, than actually go on a bus or a train.
Yeah.
I forgot who said that. I forgot who it was that said that. It might have been,
Yeah, it's pretty bad out
Brian
there.
Kilmeade, one of those guys said that they will not go on a bus. They will not go, or one of those guys said that. I can't remember who it was, but he said I will never go on a subway because I've seen bad shit. And even Dana Perino and stuff has said I've seen things, but they don't want to get involved. Dude, after what happened with Daniel Penny, you got to think twice about getting involved.
Yeah. Well, it's September 11th. Remember those who lost their lives today, and
Yes.
obviously Charlie Kirk too. Rest in peace to him.
Absolutely.
And wish his family prayers to get through this. It's kind of crazy. Hope we find this guy. I really do. All right, Greg. I will talk to you a little bit, sir.
Giuseppe. All right.
All right.
Started from nothing. Jersey streets, we owned it. Jay-Z pumping iron. Body builder coding. Years on the court.